thoughts?
Start with Barnett's outing tonight. And it was a tough fifth that maybe wasn't all his doing, but I would think it was outing overall.
Yeah, I thought Barnett did a great job. As we talked in pregame, the goal was to get him through 5 innings tonight, keep building him. That fifth inning, I think it was a 111-mile-an-hour grounder that we couldn't get. We got a body in front of it. Would have been a double play, tough play, ultimately, I thought he executed his pitches tonight. He kept the ball in the ballpark, those are good. Those are good things. So we're going to keep building with him, keep putting him out there. And I looked at his numbers before the game, and from last year to this year, there's growth for Barnett. So for a young starter to show signs of improvement, to continue to go, improve what we're talking about with just command and developing the breaking ball. That's a swing and miss. So those are all good signs.
How do you kind of just view the series? Obviously, from well-played close games, but also feels like maybe you guys would have left some wins on the table. Just how do you kind of feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, this is a good team. It's built well. They got great starting pitching. As we watched, they all went 6-7 innings. Their bullpen are guys that have been doing this for a little while. As we know, they've had success back there. So, for us, that's something we have to figure out. We have to figure out the pieces in the bullpen. We've lost leads late this series, and that hurts. It's tough to bounce back, but this is a group that I know will bounce back and come out tomorrow against Detroit ready to play.
Could you talk about those 2 innings by Blewett, especially that inning when he managed to get out of the inning after allowing 2 hits?
Yeah, great sign from Blewett. That's okay. So that's a trade we made or acquired a player recently that we're taking a look at. Let's get this opportunity to come in the 6th inning. He gives up 2 hits to start his inning and manages to work his way out and come out with a scoreless, with a 0. Zeros are great, as we know, and to go back out in the 7th, give us the 7th inning. Those are positive signs from a guy that we believed in when we went out and brought him in.
Yeah, and Sonny Gray keeps doing what Sonny Gray does. What is the main difference you see from that Sonny Gray was the Athletics and this Sonny Gray?
I mean, there's really not much. I mean, when he was with the A's, he was one of those dominant starters. So he still uses all of his pitches. He's smarter probably, and just in terms of knowing how to set hitters up. He does a great job with that. You saw him break his changeup out in the 7th inning. He got swing and miss with his sweeper. So used all his weapons. He's a veteran, and that's why he's 12-2 and with a sub-3.
You talk a lot about development not being, a straight line. There's setbacks and all that stuff. And last night you talked about Medina being a late inning piece for you guys. Tonight wasn't his night. But what do you think is like the missing piece for getting him to where he needs to be to be that late inning piece?
I think, obviously, it looked like he just tried to throw the changeup, I think, to Abreu that was a strike pitch, without conviction. So I think there's conviction behind pitches that need to be learned, and I think that's his step. Even, with Contreras, we know he's a first pitch breaking ball guy. The plan's to not throw him a strike breaking ball. We throw a strike breaking ball without conviction, and it goes over the fence. So I think that's big for us in getting these young relievers that haven't been back there to understand they got to execute every pitch, and with conviction, to throw it. So that's a message that will be delivered, and I think that obviously it's something he's got to learn from, and we've got to get him better.
Obviously not the result you guys are looking for, but Lawrence, another 2 hits, an RBI there. I don't know, it's maybe tough to put my finger on, but it kind of feels like maybe he's played with a little more confidence the last couple games. Maybe feels like he's getting himself back a little bit. Do you sense that at all? What have you been seeing from him the last few games?
Yeah, no, I do sense that Lawrence has more confidence. I do sense that, Lawrence, as we talked a little bit last night and today, that he feels, that he's been responsible for where we're at, and he's going to try to, bring this group together and lead them forward. So, he's playing with a full conviction of effort, and I think the whole group is really. And, as I said, tonight's a tough loss, so tomorrow we'll turn the page and come back, and it's a new day, new opportunity.
Yeah, I felt good. Stuff felt great, especially early on. Glad I was able to get 4 strong ones out there. That last inning, started off with fastball getting away from me, and then after that I was just trying to get the ball on the ground and did that, but they just put it in places where it's tough to make plays. So sometimes that's just how baseball goes, but overall it felt good and I think I can build off it.
Coach mentioned just kind of the improvement from last year to this year, just in your command and maybe the breaking stuff. As you've kind of gone through like the relief stuff and back to starting, just how do you kind of assess maybe your growth kind of in those aspects as a big leader this year?
Yeah, 100%. I think the command's got a lot better. Just able to put the fastball, in places where I want more consistently, and I think that's been a huge part of it. The breaking balls, I think that helps. That comes from the mechanics work that I've been doing and being able to just get more consistent overall.
Could you talk about the brand of baseball the Athletics played in this 4-game series against a team that was 14-2, something like that? All 4 games were very competitive.
Yeah, I think we showed up this series and really, took a new mindset, and I think it's been awesome. It's been, I think all the guys are buying into it, and I think it's exciting for us to get going in that mindset.
How comfortable you feel now as a member of the rotation?
Yeah, kind of been in every role this year, and I think that's part of. I can use that to my advantage, and I think it's just one of those things where, whatever role it is, give me the ball and I'm ready to go.
You talked about your command a little bit. Sorry, I couldn't hear super well back here, but just the one walk. Is that something you can obviously build off of? Not a lot of those free passes.
Yeah, 100%. I think free passes to a team, especially as hot as they are, is just doing them a favor. And I think that was kind of the mindset going in. It's just like, let's attack them and not allow those free passes, like you said.
Thank you.